Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Off My Chest subreddit from Ultimatum Off My Chest, titled "My boyfriend can't use any bathroom besides the one in our apartment, and he thinks this is normal. No advice wanted. My 25 female, boyfriend 24 male, can't go to the bathroom unless it's the one in our apartment. If he's not home when he has to go, and he doesn't make it back in time, he will go in his pants? I wish I was kidding. I figured it out after seeing him have two different accidents. The first time it was after his friend's birthday and we had both been drinking. My boyfriend was really embarrassed and I thought it was just because of the alcohol. It had never happened before in front of me, so I just let it go. The second time it happened, we were out shopping and there was no alcohol involved. He went in his pants because we didn't get home in time. We met in university, during my second year and his first. I lived on campus and he shared an apartment with his brother, 26 male, off campus. I never realized he would go back to his apartment if he needed to use the bathroom. I went on to the pharmacy program at our university and he went on to do his master's degree. After we graduated, I moved in with him. The apartment is close to the hospital I would be working at. My boyfriend found a remote job and the rent was a good price for this area. His family lives 2 hours away. He can use the bathroom at his parents' house because he grew up there. One set of his grandparents lived near his parents and he can also use their bathrooms because they have lived in the same house since he was born. His other grandparents moved to another province when they retired and my boyfriend has never visited them because of this bathroom situation. My boyfriend's brother lived in the apartment for 2 years before my boyfriend moved in, and it took him all that time to get used to the idea of using the bathroom there. His parents told me that he's been like this his whole life and they laugh about this quirk of his. My boyfriend is trying to tell me this is normal and that lots of people can only go at home. When he says that, it makes me feel like screaming. I can believe people prefer to go at home. However, they will also use whatever bathroom is closest instead of going in their pants. No one else in his family is like this. His brother just joined the Navy. His dad is a conductor for a railroad company. His mum is a postal worker. They couldn't do those jobs if they were like my boyfriend. None of his friends have ever said anything that I know of either. I told him he needs to see a therapist. He's refusing because he doesn't think anything is wrong. I do not want to live in this apartment forever. I want to travel. My parents don't live far from us, but have a big family and I want to bring him to visit them. What if he gets offered a better job that isn't fully remote? I told him I'm done if he doesn't go to therapy, and he says I'm selfish. I don't care if giving the ultimatum makes me selfish. I honestly don't. Like OP said, preferring your own bathroom, absolutely, I 100% do, and if I can hold on to use my own bathroom, I will. For a number 2, that is. Too much information, I know. But I'd waz in absolutely any public bathroom. But going as far as having accidents instead of using a public bathroom, you know, that's not just a quirk, that's something way deeper going on in my opinion. And for me, I'm side-eyeing the parents at the same time because, well, if he's been like this, as they said, his entire life, then clearly something deeper is going on. And it sounds like it just got brushed off as a quirk instead of actually being addressed, which has done him harm in the long term. Like, this isn't a harmless little habit. This is someone that's actively limiting his life. And if that had been taken seriously earlier, maybe he wouldn't be in this position now. But as always, he's an adult now, and at some point it becomes his responsibility to recognize, okay, this isn't normal and it's affecting my life, it's affecting other people around me, and I need to deal with it. And right now, he's just refusing to even acknowledge it, which makes it such a problem, so I don't blame OP for whichever way they go with this. A commenter says to OP, his parents told me he's been like this his whole life and they laugh about this quirk of his and then says so they neglected getting his extreme phobia issues help because, hey, fun and quirky. Ha, what the fuck? Does that mean he never went in school either? Just kept doing it in his clothes? He needs help. This isn't normal. He needs to drink enough fluid for a healthy body and he needs to be able to leave the house and live his life. Nobody would blame you for leaving over this. The limit this will put on your future life, even if it's a severe cleanliness phobia. Then he can carry cleaning wipes for the seats in his own toilet roll. A commenter says, I rarely ever use public lavatories and have always been that way. I usually do not need to use the bathroom at work or at school when I was young. Of course, rarely is massively different from never. I don't like it, but if I have to relieve myself at work, I go to the office bathroom like a normal adult human. Same if I'm at the mall or at a friend's house, or obviously when I'm on vacation or traveling for work. I especially hate bathrooms on airplanes, so I make sure to always use the bathroom at the airport for every layover, time permitting. And this strategy means I literally can't remember the last time I had to use a bathroom on a plane. OP isn't even remotely out of line for saying this problem is too life-limiting and not wanting to be tied to someone who can't be away from his own house for more than however many hours. He needs to go before having an accident. It would be a deal breaker for me too. Kitten Kingdom says, if a grown adult would rather shit their pants than use a public bathroom, they need serious help and therapy. I wouldn't have been able to get to the point of moving in. That is insane. Opie says if I had known about this before I moved in with him, I would have refused to come live in his apartment unless he went to therapy. Even then, he'd have had to show that he was trying to get better. So Opie came in with an update and said no advice wanted. If I had known he had this issue, I never would have moved in with him in the first place. I tried suggesting he go to therapy to address this, but he kept telling me that he is normal and I'm the weird one. After that, I knew our relationship was doomed. No one else in his family is like this. His dad is a railroad worker. His mum is a postal worker. Both sets of his grandparents love to travel. You can't do those things if you have the same issue as my ex-boyfriend. During one of our arguments about this, my boyfriend admitted his brother had wanted to go to university in another province, but their parents said they would withdraw financial support and help getting student loans unless he went to the closest university. This was so my ex-boyfriend could get used to his brother's bathroom and come live there for university as well. When his brother was in university with us, I got the sense that he was annoyed with my ex-boyfriend a lot of the time. I thought it was just normal sibling dynamics. I have 3 younger brothers, so I get being annoyed with younger siblings. But my ex-boyfriend admitted that his brother joined the Navy to get away from the family because we live in a landlocked province. It was the only way he could get away without financial support from their parents. My ex-boyfriend said his brother has not spoken to anyone in the family since he left. I know that his parents and one set of his grandparents enable him. I don't know about his other set of grandparents because they live in a different province and I only met them once. He has no other family. When I told my ex-boyfriend that I was moving out, he acted surprised. After we paid our rent for May, I told our landlord that I would not be signing a new lease with my ex-boyfriend after ours expired at the end of May. I'm lucky enough to have a best friend who let me temporarily move in with her until my new place is ready next Saturday. I just couldn't imagine a life where he declined better jobs because they aren't remote. Right now, he is a payroll clerk, or where we couldn't go see my family together, or travel, or buy a house he never lived in before. And no matter what he said, I know I was right about this not being normal. A commenter says to OP after this, yeah, you're 100% in the right. Shitting yourself because you refuse to poop in any bathroom you haven't lived in is a severe problem. Dragon says, yeah, that sucks, but it was really the only option. You can't have a future with a guy like that. You'd have to spend your whole life catering to his weird shit. Mame says, outside of the boyfriend needing serious help, wow, are the parents arseholes. They ruin the lives of both sons by not addressing what is clearly a mental health issue and by forcing the brother to accommodate their enablement. No wonder he's no contact. Look, I don't blame OP one bit for leaving. I would have done the exact same 100% because if he's refusing to get help, then this is your life as well. You're stuck planning everything around this, never traveling, always needing to be near home, and that's just not a life most people are going to accept. But at the same time, I do feel for the guy, because imagine actually having to live like that, always having that pressure in the back of your mind, I need to get home, or risk having an accident, or actually just doing it. It's honestly just grim. It just feels like something that should have been taken seriously years ago instead of being laughed off, and now it's reached a point where it's infecting his entire life and his relationships, and he still won't face it. But once again, I don't blame OP for getting out of there, but what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from Informal Contact 531 and says, am I the arsehole here for telling a co-worker that she doesn't get special treatment just because she's sad? This title makes me sound like a jerk for sure, but hear me out. I work in a small office building for an estate company. I've been working there for 6 months now. In November, a co-worker of ours, I'll call her Lena to make it easier, came out as bi to us while we were grabbing dinner after work on a Friday. She told us she's known for a month now and has been sitting on it to come to terms with it, and that she was planning on telling her boyfriend that night, but she wanted our opinions first. I understood it because most people on the table were her besties and we were all civil together and we were all girls, so maybe she wanted a girl's opinion. Anyhow, the weekend goes by and she returns to work absolutely wrecked. I'm talking eyes puffy, hair a mess, and wearing the same clothes from Friday. I've heard through the grapevine that the boyfriend didn't take it well and dumped her. They've been together for 4 years apparently, so she's obviously distressed. For the whole week, her performance was absolutely horrendous. No work done, no meetings attended, absolutely nothing. Our team leader was good friends with Lena, so she divided Lena's work on the rest of us, just for the week, she said. But this has continued on until now, and we're in February. Yesterday, the team leader decided to give me one of Lena's projects because this would have been her 5th anniversary with her boyfriend. I said no, I already had my own work. Why would I do someone's work for her and she gets paid for absolutely nothing while I'm still struggling with my salary and now double the work? The team leader threatened to write me up, so I went to HR and told her everything that's been happening. Showed her the emails where the team leader gave us Lena's work and told us to be patient. On lunch break, Lena tried to corner me, telling me she's going through a rough time and that I should be supportive. I told her I was supportive, but now she's just milking it. She comes and goes as she pleases because the team leader covers for her. She doesn't work because her work gets handed to us and it's not fair. I told her just because she's sad she got dumped, that doesn't mean we all need to pick up her slack. We all have our lives and problems, but we don't make it each other's problems. She called me a C word, and I just walked back to HR and told her what happened. They were both called in for a meeting and she's now facing possible termination, according to the same grapevine. I don't think I was in the wrong for going to HR. I'm not going to work for someone else and they get to hand it in and take all the credit. However, I think that I probably shouldn't have said what I said. 4 years is a long time and she did look absolutely wrecked, but at this point it was getting a bit ridiculous to expect such treatment. Am I the arsehole here? A commenter says to OP, if she can't function at work, she should be on sick leave, not getting a free ride on co-workers' backs. You did what you had to do, not the arsehole. Adorable says exactly, and the office needs to hire a temp to take up some of the workload. Yeah, 4 years is a long time and sometimes you'll need a couple, sick or vacation days off, but usually after that work is a good distraction to give your mind a rest from thinking about the breakup too much. Another commenter says, not the arsehole. The second your boss threatened to write you up for not doing someone else's work was the second they may as well have gone to HR themselves. They made it a problem for everyone and you took her work far longer than you should have. Doing for a week, I get it. Maybe even till the end of November. But 3 whole months, nearly 4, of doing someone else's work because they're sad they were dumped is ridiculous. Lena shouldn't be the only one facing termination. Your boss should be as well. Altruistic says, not the arsehole. For that first week, sure. Lena was heartbroken and going through hell. Pick up the slack so she can push through the initial shock of the whole thing. But months? No. That's not how the real world works. If it affected her mental health so badly she couldn't work, she should have looked into alternatives to give her a longer break that would not affect the rest of you. And one more comment from SA Vibe who says, not the arsehole. 4 years is a long relationship, sure, but grief doesn't give you a free pass to do 0 work for 3 months while everyone else carries you. Your team leader created this mess by enabling her, not you. Going to HR was the only move left when polite no didn't work. The C-word reaction shows she knows she's been taken advantage and got defensive. So OP does update this post and says, hi, since a lot of you wanted an update on Lena and the team leader, here it is, but I also wanted to answer a few questions about Lena. 1. Lena didn't cheat, at least that we know of. What I heard is that she didn't want to get with her sister physically. She apparently said that she suspected that she was bi for a few years, since high school, but what really confirmed it was her boyfriend's sister. Apparently that's why they broke up, not because she was queer. 2. Why we let this go on for so long. It's because this was kind of what my team did to others in the team. For example, a month after I was hired, I had fallen and broken my right arm. Completely useless and I can't get any work done. It took me a week to learn how to get things done with my left hand and they helped me with it all. Also, another co-worker of ours found out that his wife had cancer a few months ago. He had to take care of his sick mother who was in a wheelchair, his sick wife and their toddler. For 2 months, we covered for him. did whatever work he couldn't do, and sometimes took over his assignments so he can sleep a little. This all stopped when he told us that his sister finally came and she took over some of his work at home, and he returned to doing his full work, so helping out in his team wasn't something out of the ordinary. 3. No, Lena's work wasn't all dumped on me. If it was, I would have gone to HR from a long time ago. It was divided on all of us. 4. Why Lena told her co-workers before her boyfriend. Because most of the girls on that table were already her besties, save for me and 2 other girls, and we were all civil with Lena. Maybe she wanted another girl's opinion. I have no clue why she told us. 5. Yes, most of us are on the younger side, like early 20s or something. Also, just because a woman pulled this crap doesn't give you an opening to be a misogynist. I believe this is all. Here's the update. So, according to the grapevine, HR demanded a mental evaluation/doctor's note from Lena, stating that she was actually struggling mentally the last few months. Apparently, if she really was, they'd give her unpaid leave until she found a therapist. If she wasn't, she'd be let go. I don't know if there'd be any repercussions for her regarding the paycheck she took without actual work done. Nothing is known about the team leader, but she didn't come in yesterday and no one is talking about her. Lena's friend group is giving me dirty eyes and whispering about me in the lunchroom like high school girls, but at least 47-year-old Marie is happy. She no longer has to do the extra work and she brought us cookies. Some co-workers came up to me and they thanked me for talking. They said that they were waiting into our annual meeting in March to tell the actual CEO about it, but they're glad it was resolved before it. I guess this is the sum of it. If I hear any news, I'll make sure to update you guys. Thank you for the support. And a final update. Lena is most likely getting fired, y'all. Her desk was cleaned out yesterday, and there hasn't been any mention of her. They're even interviewing new people, assuming for a role. As for the mean girls, I did talk to HR about it, and they held a meeting on Wednesday regarding creating a hostile work environment. The mean looks finally stopped. And now for the one you've been waiting for. Team leader is transferred to another team, and our new team leader is the co-worker whose wife has cancer. I'm honestly so happy for him because this means a significant raise and more flexible work schedule, and he definitely needs those too. Thank you all for the support. Did I read that right in that she was eyeing up boyfriend's sister? Bloody hell. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from the Off My Chest subreddit from a throwaway account that was titled, "I'm heading for divorce, but my lawyer has given me the best news ever." My lawyer gave me the best news. My female 38 husband, soon to be ex-husband, has been cheating on me and he wants her instead of me. I'm probably naive because I didn't see this coming at all. I was researching vacation options for our 10th anniversary next year, and meanwhile, he, male 39, was running around with another woman. She's either 25 or 27, I can't remember which. I never thought heartbreak like this was real, but it broke my heart. I've known people who've gotten a divorce and you have to live separately for a year before you can get a divorce, but I wanted to be prepared, so I made an appointment with a lawyer now. It was probably the best thing I've ever done. She told me that in our state, alimony is forbidden if there is adultery. Since my husband cheated, I wouldn't have to pay alimony. I was prepared that I'd have to pay out the nose, but I have proof that he cheated, that he gave me himself, so I won't have to pay him. This was the best news I could have gotten. Also, the living separately for a year only applies to no-fault divorces in my state. Since I have proof he cheated, my lawyer went ahead and filed on my behalf based on adultery. Technically, my husband and I still live together. Our lease expires on the 31st, and the countdown on our separation was supposed to start November 1st. I wish I could be there to see his face when 1. He gets served with notice that I filed, and 2. He finds out he won't get alimony because he cheated. He wanted a no-fault divorce, and I know he was counting on getting alimony. It was the best news I could have gotten. I don't even have words for how amazing I feel. And as you can imagine, on the back of a story like that, most of the comments were just like, congratulations, live your life, the pain will pass eventually, all this kind of thing. And basically, whatever happens, he's brought this on himself, but also saying, to protect yourself at the same time, because you never know what his reaction is going to be when he finds this out. But OP did come in with an update and says this is kind of anticlimactic, but there were some comments on my original post asking me, female 38, to update what happened after my husband was served with the divorce papers. I also wanted to thank everyone for the kind comments they left. Even though I'd gotten good news from my lawyer, this has still been the most horrible time of my life, and all the encouragement did help. My husband, soon to be ex-husband, male 39, was predictably not happy when he was served and found out I'd filed for divorce. He was under the impression that we had to be separated for a year first. I just told him to talk to a lawyer. We both moved out of our condo during the last week in October when the lease ended, and we live separately now. A few days after he was served and I told him to talk to a lawyer and leave me alone, my husband told me he has changed his mind and asked if we could work things out. I said no fucking way and told him to have his lawyer talk to my lawyer because I'm done talking to him. He was upset and almost in tears when I said I wouldn't reconsider. It's been a month and I have not seen or spoken to him. He hasn't tried talking to me again. Edit, and I'm extremely happy about it because I don't want anything to do with him ever again. Our lawyers are doing all the communicating. He may have been upset, but he broke my heart first, and even the good news from my lawyer hasn't erased how broken I feel. Edited to add, I'm turning off my messages so people will stop DMing me and calling me two-faced or other names for being disappointed that he hasn't contacted me again. I'm actually happy he hasn't because I want nothing to do with him ever again. I'm the opposite of disappointed. A commenter says to OP, I'll bet she dumped him. Karma. Commenter replies to that saying that, and he found out he won't get alimony per OP's original post. A commenter replies to that saying, which is probably why she dumped him. Another commenter says to OP, sending you a hug and best wishes. I know the extra few months are going to be hard, but you will get over this. Start planning on a recovery trip to somewhere you've always wanted to go to. When you feel low, plan a spa day. Treat you good, pamper you. So OP did reply to one of the comments. The commenter said, I didn't read your first post, but I'll be honest. I got a pretty strong absolutely not vibe when you dropped the no fucking way on him. So I was a little confused when you also said it's been a month and he hasn't tried to talk to me. If his lawyer told him you're done communicating, because that's exactly what you told your lawyer, then he's probably following instructions and keeping his distance. That doesn't mean he's right or wrong or that you are. It just sounds like you made a firm decision, but maybe there's still a tiny part of you that's surprised he didn't make one last push. Not saying you should reconcile, just that both things can be true at the same time. You can be done and still have complicated feelings about how it's playing out. Divorce is extremely difficult, and I discovered emotions that I didn't know existed even though I was completely done. Best of luck to you. And just to say, that commenter was downvoted by the way, but OP did reply saying, I'm ecstatic that he hasn't tried to contact me again. I'd hoped he would stop trying to talk to me after the first time when I told him to get a lawyer. I'm upset he contacted me a second time. I thought I was clear the first time, but I'm glad he got the message the second time because I want nothing to do with him ever again. And most of the comments on the back of this were just happy for OP, saying absolutely and likely that he's been dumped by his girlfriend and all this kind of stuff. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world. So thank you so much for being involved, for liking the videos, for sharing them around, for hyping them up as well. I really do appreciate it. So thank you once again, and hopefully I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and much love.